Every day, you wake up as your own boss, making your own way. Every day, you continue your journey to change the world, your team, and yourself. Every day, you encourage, congratulate, celebrate, and reach toward your goal of being the best and providing the best. The Build Your Best Business Show is for you. The real stories of building a business from other owners and founders along the journey. Find the support and advice you need to successfully start, grow, manage, and exit your business. What are you going to do today to build your best business?
Welcome to Build Your Best Business. I'm your host, Eric Holtzclaw. Build Your Best Business focuses on the entrepreneurial journey. What does it take to successfully start, grow, manage, and eventually exit a business? We are on site in Charleston at Dig South, a conference that if you haven't attended, you should. It's a cool little conference that intersects entrepreneurship, technology, a little bit of entertainment, and food. So we're sort of in that food category for this interview. I'm talking to Luke Correale. He is the owner and director of operations for Coffee Kind. Did I get the name right?
Yep.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you have been part of what's been fueling our caffeine for the past couple days.
I have. I felt like I've met everyone at this conference so
I'm
far.
sure you have. Having coffee, being the source of coffee, is a really good way to meet everybody.
It is.
They're definitely going to come by and say, yeah, can you help hook me up? So talk to us a little bit about what Coffee Kind does, the company itself, and then we'll get into your background and how you decided to get into this.
Sure. So Coffee Kind is a marketplace for specialty coffee roasters. That's how we started out.
Okay.
We're about a little over 2 years old, so we work with roasters around the country to help connect them with consumers and ship their fresh roasted coffee direct to the customer. And about last year, we saw the need for consumers that use Keurigs to have a better product coming out of their machines. So we took it upon ourselves to figure out how to take that same specialty coffee and fresh roast it and put it into a K-Cup and offer it to offices and consumers at home that use a Keurig. And that's what we worked on for the past year. And about 3 months ago, we figured it out. We got the coffee roasted and coming through a Keurig that is almost as good as a pour-over. We like to say it is as good, but I think the purists would disagree.
Yeah.
But it's a delicious cup of coffee that brews in 45 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And no bitterness, and it's fresh roasted right before you drink it. So it's
very cool.
It's pretty great.
So talking about the relationship, so a lot of people don't understand kind of the coffee ecosystem, like how that works, and it is often a commodity, right? So by being a commodity, that means that I'm buying it at the cheapest, lowest rate I can get versus trying to get something that even in your high quality brands, that's what's happening.
Yeah, the problem with especially large, say McDonald's or Green Mountain, they buy very large quantities of coffee, and so it's hard to get a perfect bean. So they're buying coffees that have impurities in them, and to hide those impurities, they have to roast the coffee extremely dark, which offers that it's a carbon flavor, which is being described as a chocolate note.
Yeah.
You're going to get that at Starbucks or any big brand coffee shop. And recent years, there's been a big push for these small craft roasters who hand select their beans. They work with farmers all around the world who are getting a living wage and import the coffees and roast them in 15-pound batches or 20-pound batches. And by doing that, you have really full control on the end product. And you can roast the coffee a lot lighter than you normally would. And by doing that, there's no bitterness. You can bring out the nuances of the coffee, the various flavors. We see coffees from Africa that have really nice citrus notes, and then coffees from South America that are a little bit heavy-bodied, give you those kind of more robust flavors without being carbon.
Okay. And so tell me about how you got into this. So why is this the category that you ended up in?
I've always loved coffee, and I was originally, when I graduated college, I was a co-founder of a wine company, an e-commerce wine business. I was based in Charleston, and we grew it pretty quickly, and then the company moved to New York, and we were sharing an office with the co-founder of Coffee Kind.
Okay.
And I wanted to stay in Charleston, and I felt like it was my time to move on.
Yeah.
And he was being recruited away from the coffee business to go run operations for a large tech company in Charleston, and asked if I wanted to join and take over the reins of Coffee Kind.
Oh, wow.
And it was perfect timing. I love coffee. I'd always thought my next move would be something in coffee, so it worked out really well. And the company he went to work for ended up getting acquired, which allowed us to have some capital to work with, and it's really making everything possible with the K-Cups, because it's a big investment to get started, and really do what we want by having all in-house funding.
Well, so for someone who may not be familiar with that investment, there's building a technology product is very different, right? You create it, you put it up on the app store or out on the web, and then all of a sudden it's available. When you're manufacturing something and you have to go through all this process and source the product. Talk to us a little bit about those challenges, and when you say doing that, the K-Cup is expensive. What are some of those pieces?
The challenge, so we looked at two options with the K-Cups. One was outsourcing, sending our coffee out to have somebody package it at a big plant. That's costly, and it gets away from the idea of having it extremely fresh roasted and packaged within 24 to 36 hours. So we wanted to buy the machinery and have that done in-house and have full control of everything. So buying the machine to pack the pods was very expensive, and it was a lot of research to figure out how we were going to do that. The roasting part of it came fairly easy. I had relationships with young roasters in Charleston, and we ended up teaming up with them, finding a warehouse together, and they just happened to be extremely talented coffee roasters who like to buy the best coffee they can find in the world, and that just works out. We didn't have to really search for a coffee roaster. I would say if you were starting out in the coffee business, that's probably the biggest challenge, is finding somebody who can take a green bean, profile it, find the perfect roast for it, and really have the passion to want to always change the blends and change the roast on the single origins and make sure they're always the best profile they can be for that bean.
So there's a multi-step process here of quality, right?
There is.
Getting the beans in, then you've got to roast them, then they have to be ground, and then they have to be pounded. Lots and lots of steps in that process.
Beans come in through the Charleston Fort, and we store them on James Island here in Charleston. They have to be kept at a certain temperature, and you don't want the beans sitting around too long, so we buy in certain quantities so that we don't have beans that sit on the floor for months. We try and get everything roasted within weeks of arriving.
Yeah.
So that the coffee goes in 15 to 20 pound batches through our roaster, degasses for about 24 hours, and then we grind it and put it through our K-Cup machine for the ordering.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So comparing this to having done the wine company before, so what are some of the lessons along the way?
So there's some things that are a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Shipping wine was a real hassle. There's a lot of regulations with that. Broken bottles are never fun. But I learned the art of customer service, and I think that's one of the biggest things that anyone who's starting a business or has a business should know, that how to take care of a customer. A happy customer will pay off tenfold. If you can go out of your way and give them the time that they need, make sure their shipments are arriving on time. If there's an issue, you can always solve an issue with a customer. No matter how angry they are, if your shipment doesn't arrive on time, you can always fix it. People love free things.
Yeah.
And a $10 coupon will pay itself back over and over again, and they'll bring in new customers versus leaving somebody unhappy.
Yeah. Well, and having the concentration on the repeat customer. For any kind of product, any kind of retail location, whatever, it's about getting a repeat customer, so having somebody come back. So the creation of the product, getting it manufactured, you guys are doing that in-house, so there was some time in getting that done. Then starting to work on distribution, like getting customers, marketing the product. Talk to me about what that's like, because it's not about just creating it. Right?
It's a hustle. That's really what it is. That's why we're here pushing our coffee. This is brand awareness for us. We want to be in retail locations. Our big push right now is offices.
Okay.
That's why we came out with the K-Cups. We were trying to sell high-end whole bean to offices who had Keurigs, and they did not want to switch. They wanted the convenience of the K-Cup. So that's why we brought that to market. So we're pushing for the offices. We obviously have direct-to-consumer from the website, and then we want to be in retail locations, and that comes down to brand awareness. If you go in a grocery store, you're going to buy what you know or what's on sale. And being a premium product, we're always going to be undercut by the Sam's Clubs or the Starbucks or Green Mountain brand. So having people that know the brand, know the company, seeing it out in the wild and going to a grocery store and picking up the shelf is kind of where the hustle comes in.
Okay, and we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we get back, I want to talk about that hustle. So how do you get the retailers to pay attention to you? What is it that kind of drives that brand awareness to get somebody to pick it up? So that's a big challenge. It's not about creating it, it's about getting it off the shelf and into the customer's home and getting them to use it. So you're listening to Build Your Best Business. I'm your host, Eric Holtzclaw. We're talking today with Luke Correale. He's the owner and director of operations for Coffee Kind. We'll be back in just a minute.
Are you looking to grow your business? Maybe you know exactly who you need to get in contact with. You're just not sure how to go about it. Podcasting is your answer, and at Briller Media, we make you the expert. We have state-of-the-art equipment to record your audio and video podcast. Plus, we take care of everything on the back end. We schedule your guests, upload your podcast to the top podcasting platforms, and we push out your show on social media, promoting you, your business, and your guest's business. How could they ignore your pitch after that? Briller Media, we make you look brilliant.
Sometimes, life gives you crazy ideas. Chase them.
Congratulations, you're your own boss. Now comes the hard part. It's not just about starting a business, it's about successfully managing and growing that business to an eventual exit. And along that entrepreneurial journey, you're going to run into questions and problems that you need quick answers to. Things like, do you need a business plan? How do you read a balance sheet? How do you talk to an investor? When do you bring on a founder? Or what if you're having problems with your partner? These are the types of things that you run into as you're trying to grow that business to the next level, and they may not be the things you want to share in public with other people. They're the problems and issues that arise that, as I have experienced along my own entrepreneurial journey, that I needed to have someone I could trust to reach out to and have a conversation and get a different perspective. And it was often those short conversations that would be the thing that moved me from where I was to where I needed to be. It's for that reason I created the On-Demand CXO product offering. On-Demand CXO is something that you can use to have a conversation with a trusted advisor about what's going on in your business. We do a 1-hour phone call to talk about your business, talk about your objectives, and understand what it's going to take to move you from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. From there, you have ongoing access to a Slack channel to ask me questions in private about what's going on in your business, so that I can provide some advice or connections to my network to individuals who can help you solve against that problem. You will also have access to my Facebook page, which is full of other entrepreneurs who are along the same journey, to have more broad conversations, things that you trust and would talk about in a networking event. But when you need to go and have that conversation with a trusted advisor, you will have the ability to have a conversation with me in a place that's safe, completely anonymous, and unbiased. I want to see you succeed and build your very best business. And we're back. You're listening to Build Your Best Business. I'm your host, Eric Holtzclaw. We're coming to you from the Gaylord Center in Charleston, South Carolina. We are talking to Luke Correale. He is the owner and director of operations for Coffee Kind. They are a relatively new brand, yes? How long have you guys been around?
A little over 2 years.
2 years, okay. 2 years. Breaking their way into the space. They've been providing us with free caffeine for the past 2 or 3 days. And Luke was sharing with me that his feet will definitely be ready for the conference to be over. But you get to share your story every time, right?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's the best situation to be able to meet everyone at the conference.
Yeah.
I think 90% of the people here have come for a cup of coffee.
Right.
And because we're brewing through the Keurig, you get about 45 seconds. You get that 45-second pitch to everyone that comes.
It's the perfect elevator pitch.
It
right?
is. It's perfect.
Got to have it down to 45 seconds. So as we talk about brand activation and getting retailers to pick it up, or distribution. So talk to me. You said it's a hustle. I mean, I've heard of different ways that people have made that hustle work. What are some things that have worked for you? What are some things that are not? What are you guys trying?
So we're in the middle of that hustle right now. It's a little bit new to me. My past company was all direct to consumers, and we worked a little bit with restaurants. And I feel like that's the same idea of just knocking down doors, walking into, seeing who you can talk to, cold calling, emailing, giving out samples. So right now we're focusing on, like I said, the direct to the office, but we also want to be in retailers.
Yeah.
So we're starting small. We're a small team, so we're not trying to go after the big fish. We're looking at the local brands. Charleston, we have Caviar Bananas, The Daily, small cafes that have some retail locations. Those are the easiest to get into in the beginning.
Yeah.
They're more willing to give you a chance.
Well, that's small supporting small, right?
Yeah, and there's less hurdles to go through. And then as we're growing, we're looking at bringing on a sales team to focus on the larger companies. But a lot of even the big brands will have a section of local goods. So it's just a matter of talking to the right person. And once you get in there, we have to continue doing brand awareness, do events, conferences, get samples out to the public. That's why Red Bull is always driving around and handing out free cans, because they want you to stop by the gas station and pick up a can when you're on the road.
We interviewed the guy from Kind Bars, and he talks about the number of samples he gives away. He gives like 800,000. He moved it was up to 800,000 one year. He noticed the exponential growth. Now they give away millions of dollars of free samples every year.
Yeah.
And that's the way they get people to come in and buy that, new version or to try it out. As you guys are going through this process of, it sounds like you have that operational background, so getting the manufacturing working was not necessarily quote unquote a challenge. I know you had to pick machines and things.
A little bit of a challenge. My background, I graduated college as an economics major.
Okay.
We started the wine company. I was focusing on marketing and partnerships. And when I took over with the coffee company, operations is really where all the help was needed.
Yeah.
And so we've just been trying to kind of build a structure to grow off of. Every company, if you want to scale,
right,
you need organization and you need a platform to do it on. So it's been a big learning curve for me, but I'm enjoying it a lot more.
Yeah.
I think as we grow, I'll probably get back more into the partnerships in marketing. It's the exciting part, I think.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have that clean platform to work off of.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, knowing that you can deliver behind it. It's sort of this pendulum between the two, right?
Yeah.
I don't want too many sales because can I deliver it? I don't want too much delivery because I don't have to, it's got to kind of keep it that balance.
Yeah, as far as getting everything into production, that was just a big learning curve. I kind of dove in head first and figured it all out. There's no manual on building your own K-Cups.
No.
You just kind of have to do a lot of research and figure that out.
No manual on any of this stuff. That's the thing, right?
No.
Like we go to school and they teach you how to pass a test, but then you get out and you start building a business and there's no manual to follow.
My first factory visit to see where a machine could be built was an eye-opener.
It's where?
To see where the machines would be built.
Yeah.
I had to go to a handful of different factories that actually produce
okay.
that type of machinery. So it runs off of power and compressed air. It looks like Willy Wonka's factory.
Oh, wow.
When I watch how it's made, I actually know how those things are functioning now.
Yeah.
Because that's the same machinery that we got.
Oh, wow.
But it's something that now I can add to my resume. It's something nice to, being that we're a small company, when the machine came here, I was the one fixing it.
Yeah.
I had some help, but if the thing ever breaks down, I think I'm comfortable grabbing a wrench and going in there.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said for that, because I had a series of interviews with owners like in a row where they didn't really understand the operations of their business. They were really good at sales and marketing. And they got in trouble because they didn't know how the sausage was made, right? Like, it's helpful. You shouldn't be doing that work, but
the core group of a business, even if you're starting out, 4 founders or 2 founders, everyone should have an idea of how every part of the business runs.
Yeah.
then there's no lack of communication.
And you understand the impact.
Yeah, and you understand what your partner's going through and what issues they're having. That way you're not just trying to, if somebody's going too fast, too full speed ahead, and you don't understand the struggles that operations is having or customer service is having. That's an issue we ran into at the wine business in the beginning, was not having the operations locked down and then running into a serious problem with orders and customers and not having the customer service to keep up with it. And it was long nights, a lot of arguing until we got it figured out. So especially we learned to be prepared. If you're setting up a deal that could be a really lucrative partnership, make sure that everything is ready to go. It's better to wait than to kind of jump on that first deal and hope for the best.
Right. So you talk about one of your strategies being direct to office. So do you mean truly direct to office, or is it direct to like an office supply company that then would be to office?
So there's a right now we're working on direct to office. Actually, going to office. A lot of offices will buy off of Amazon.
Yeah.
When the office admin will need new coffee, they'll find the cheapest K-cups available or whatever they already buy, and have it shipped to the office, and then they go out and buy milk. So we're focusing on those smaller companies right now.
And the one thing you don't want to run out at the office with is coffee.
Yeah.
I had that happen a couple of times at one of my companies.
It's not good. And
you can run out of paper. You can run out of ink.
No coffee on a Monday morning can be a riot, and it's bad.
Right.
So we have an office in Atlanta. They have about 170 employees, and they still were ordering off of Amazon, so we just made it easy for them.
Yeah.
We ship them about 500 pods on a bi-weekly basis.
Okay.
And then we also are talking with coffee suppliers.
Okay.
We realize we're going to have to go through that vertical, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a product that's a premium product, and they can't get it anywhere else. So we want to be in every aspect of the supply chain.
Yeah. And so the name, where did the name come from?
The name is all about goodness, coffee goodness. When Sam started it, he said he looked through a bunch of different names, and Coffee Kind kind of seemed to fit really well. It's all about, especially in this day and age when everyone's kind of against each other. And, Coffee Kind is just about bringing it together. And when you drink a cup of coffee with someone, like a coffee house,
right,
that's all about community.
So future for you guys, are you focused on certain regions? Are you shipping all over the country?
Due to our size, we're focusing on the Southeast.
Okay.
We'll grow as, I think East Coast is probably the first target for us. New York's on the map. But I think we want to tackle Charleston and Atlanta first. We have sales guys in Atlanta. We're based here in Charleston. It's an easy win for us to be in Charleston and kind of get a footing.
Yeah, and knowing you sort of you're in the operations category, so I'm going to ask this question, I may put you on the spot. But metrics-wise, what are the things that you guys care about? Or are there certain things, is it sales or number of units, or what are the metrics that you consider?
Right now, it's number of pods going out the door. Because the more coffee we can move, the better it is for the quality of the coffee. It sits less on the shelf. So that's big for us. But honestly, right now we're focusing on making sure all the structures of the business are locked down. Right. We want to scale this thing. Our goal in the next year is to develop our own brewing machine. I've been in contact with technicians for espresso machines and ways that we can take the Keurig and make it better. Because there is a breakdown from a really high-end coffee bean. Once you grind it and put it in a pod, and it goes through a brewing process that is a little bit shorter than your normal pour over. It's not going to give you that perfect cup that the enthusiast is going to want, but there are ways to make it better. And if we can track the number of cups that are going through that machine and what pods are being brewed, and change the temperatures of the water for the coffee that's going into it, and make the coffee a lot better. So.
Well, and even just personal taste. Like I'll get a cup of coffee and it'll be awesome, and then order the same one 2 days later and it's not.
Yeah.
It's same company, same coffee, whatever, but it's some difference. And I always feel like I'm guessing at the house.
It's all about the water to ground ratio.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, very cool. And so are there any other future plans, like growth-wise? You guys are primarily hiring out of the Charleston market? Are you remote? Or?
We're hiring out of Charleston right now.
Okay.
We want to have everyone based here to just kind of, I think coffee is one of those things it's hard for someone to jump into and really go out and sell it. You have to see the process, see where the beans are coming from, see how it's being roasted to be able to sell, I think, to sell it properly.
Yeah.
I think there's some companies or some products you can take a handbook and read on it, but coffee is a really intricate product because it comes from so many different farmers and there's different processes for each bean. There's multiple varietals. There's hundreds of different coffee varietals.
Yeah. Well, and even explaining that whole concept around different grinds and that the Keurig would have a different grind than maybe pour over. Or, I know that for like a flat bottom versus a cone filter, but to think about it being a different grind within.
Yeah, and that was a tricky part for us to find a grind that would work. I mean, that was the biggest issue was a 45-second brew process versus your typical pour over time. How can we still get a non-tea-like cup of coffee from the Keurig? And it came down to grind setting and the heat that the coffee is roasted at. We still want to keep the nuances, but we try and roast at a little bit higher temperature just to give it more body.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. Appreciate it. Thanks for supplying us with caffeine.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here.
Isaac is very excited. He's all about the caffeine. So he'll drink coffee. I can't drink it after 4. Or I'm going to be awake.
I stop at noon.
He does like till midnight. So anyway, so we've been talking with Luke Correale. He is the owner and director of operations for Coffee Kind. We've been coming to you from Charleston, dig south. And until next time, what are you going to do to build your best business?
Every day, you wake up as your own boss, making your own way. Every day, you continue your journey to change the world, your team, and yourself. Every day, you encourage, congratulate, celebrate, and reach toward your goal of being the best and providing the best. The Build Your Best Business Show is for you. The real stories of building a business from other owners and founders along the journey. Find the support and advice you need to successfully start, grow, manage, and exit your business. What are you going to do today to build your best business?